parts of the microphone. So you know that girl they just found dead, Gabby? Yeah. And they're looking for Brian Laundrie. I think if they really want to find him, all they need to do is find out what vaccine he got. Was it the Pfizer, the Moderna, the J&J? And all they got to do is just activate that microchip and bam! They found him! Hashtag only works for white girls. I've been dating recently. Woo! And I was having sex with a guy. Well, we started to have sex and he went down on me. And like, not very far into it, he stopped and said, "Oh, you're already wet." Well, by that logic, if I'm going to suck your dick, oh, you're already hard. And then I just think, like, let's take it further. We already landed on the moon. Why explore the rest of space? We already made a Spider-Man movie. We don't need to make 8 more. I bet the person who invented ethically non-monogamous, because they wanted to cheat on their partner, felt like Thomas fucking Edison. These are my list of jokes. I'm just trying to like workshop. They're non sequitur. None of them make sense. Like they're not tied. It's just one joke that I'm trying out after another. So I'm tall. I'm 6 feet tall. I grew up tall, believe it or not. I've been tall since birth. And I, got made fun of and stuff as a kid. The clothes didn't fit me right. I had people called all my pants high waters and all these things, and I was real self-conscious of myself and everything, and but that didn't stop me from doing plays, liturgical dance. Anyone else liturgical dance? No other Catholic school kid? That's fine. Playing sports, whatever. And I kind of thought about it. It's like Godzilla. Boom, man, there, this, tearing down buildings. Don't look at me. No, because I was very self-conscious, but I also wanted to do those things. Okay, I'll work on that one. So, I'm 41 years old, and I did a play over the summer, and my castmate, we were talking one day after rehearsal, and she learned that I have a 14-year-old son, and she's like, "Oh, I thought you were younger than me." And I was like, no, I'm like so much older. I was like 3 years older. And she's like, "Yeah, oh, wow." And then she did this thing where she like leaned in and looked at me, like examined me, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I see." And I was like, lean back, Sheryl Sandberg. Like I'm somebody that should be observed from afar. Okay. Everyday superpowers, that's the title of this one. Okay. I wish I had the superpower of being able to get the correct amount of spaghetti made every time I make spaghetti. So, like, I don't want a fucking measurement tool or whatever. I know you can buy that kind of stuff. That's not what I'm talking about. Like currently, when I make spaghetti, I make enough for a toddler or a family of 5. And it's like, I just want enough for me. And I would like the superpower to be able to eyeball it and make that. Other superpowers I would like to have would be able, just everyday superpowers, a key that when I get a new key to an apartment or anything, I could just use right away and not be like just like mess up. I just want to be able to use a new key right the first time. Another thing, another everyday superpower, I would like to be able to find my car when I park it, because I never can find it. Okay? Maybe you all have some that you would wish that you were a superhero at. Here's my last joke. In my family, you are bad, no matter what. You could be a saint, you could be like so good, you could be giving and loving and kind and dedicated your life to service, but nobody gives a shit about that. Everyone thinks everybody is bad, always from the start. And here's an example. I have a cousin who, first of all, I should just say this. I have one side of my family, my dad's side of my family. I have 37 cousins on that side. And 37, thank you for the applause for that. It's not like you're half or your second cousin or anything, like just straight up 37 kids because I guess we don't use birth control, whatever. So my cousin, she had a child a few months before, and I saw her at a funeral, because that's when we get together, like funerals and weddings. And I was like, hey, how's your baby that you just had? And she was like, oh, he's bad. They're all bad. And if I had someone with me, they would be like, that's like a fucked up thing to say about like your kid, but to me it was just like normal and fun. Like I'm like, oh yeah, sure, because that's how everybody is treated. Like, yeah, you're just bad, it's bad. And I'm talking about like, so when you think about it, I'm like, what's bad for a baby beyond like shitting and pissing and crying and not sleeping through the night and like, you know, general things that our children are burdens, you know, well, all that. So like beyond that, what would make a bad baby? And I was thinking about it. I just couldn't like stop thinking about like, what is a bad baby? And one night, I swear, I just was thinking of this like chubby Tootsie Roll baby, like with their Tootsie Roll arms and legs and their little fists and they're in their crib. And they like climb out of their crib one night and they like crawl across their little nursery and they like open their little crib door and they crawl out and they like crawl down the hallway to the parents' room. And they like kick in the door with their little Tootsie Roll leg. And they like go in, like scamper through the room, crawl up the comforter, you know. I got a little Tootsie Roll, like, and I crawl over, like, climb up on the parents, like, and you're just sleeping, and you wake up, and you're like little babies there, their little face and their Tootsie Roll bodies, like, yeah. And then outside, it's like flash of lightning, like an Alfred Hitchcock movie. And we see a little baby Tootsie Roll arm and fist come up in the air, and like just like, and then just like